Well, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is a bright and sunny Friday morning here in the Chicagoland area, and you have just tuned into Live with Dr. Ruby. This is the first of a every 2 week series where I will pop on live for about maybe 5 to 10 minutes just to talk about issues that are relevant to you. And so this morning, I'm kicking off this first series with a topic that's been buzzing in the media, buzzing on social media, and buzzing everywhere, if you really be honest about it. And that's the subject of self-care. We take so much time caring for others, and we have a tendency to think that self-care is selfish. But let me just be real honest with you. Self-care is not selfish. It's called self-preservation. And self-preservation is the first law of nature. And so we're going to talk this morning about how important it is to value yourself. And as we talk about how important it is to value yourself, we're going to talk about a few main topics. The overall topic being self-care. The first thing that I want to remind you of is that your health is your wealth. What do you think about when you think about your health? Do you think about just how you feel physically? Do you think about how you feel emotionally? Do you think about how you feel mentally? Your health is your wealth. There are millions and millions of, well, not, I won't say millions. There are lots and lots of people who are very, very wealthy, that are millionaires and billionaires, but they don't have good health. Their health, their physical health may be in jeopardy because they're taking a bunch of pills every day for high blood pressure, for diabetes, and for a number of different ailments, heart disease. Their mental health may be in jeopardy because they're stressed out all the time. So they're taking pills to calm down their mental health. And their emotional health may be whack, if I could say it that way, just because they have not learned how to manage their emotions. But guess what? None of those items are a really big deal because we have to do what's necessary to make sure that we're healthy, right? So if it means taking a pill every now and again, that's okay. If it means doing other things to regulate your health, that's okay too. But let it be a temporary situation. So let's talk about what it means to have good physical health. I want to remind us that our bodies are meant to move. In one of the newsletters, we talked about exercise. We talked about getting up, moving our bodies. Now, I'm a person that loves to work out. I work out probably 6 out of 7 days a week for no less than about 40 or 45 minutes. But I don't say that everybody have to do that in order to have good health. But what is required is that you get up and move. Gone are the days of being a couch potato, of sitting on the couch, and the only thing that you're working is your thumb while you work that remote control. Get up and walk to the kitchen. Get up and walk to the front porch. Get up and walk to the curb. And if you dare to do so, get up and walk around the block. Doesn't take long, but that's the start to good health. Then you want to make sure that you're eating the right things. Again, we're talking about how to value ourselves. We're no good to anyone else if we're not taking care of ourselves. And then the other thing that you want to make sure that you're taking care of is your mental health. There is no reason why we have to suffer mentally. There are counselors, there are therapists available. And I know for many, many years, there has been a stigma on having mental health concerns. If we will be real honest with ourselves, and now we got to get real honest with ourselves. Every one of us have had some type of mental health crisis, whether it was situational because of sadness from an event or from something that occurred, or whether it's something that's chronic and ongoing. In any event, don't let it sit idly by. Take care of your mental health. See a therapist. Talk to someone. It may be a good friend that you just want to get some things off your chest with. The most important thing is not to bottle up those feelings and those emotions. The third thing that I want to talk about when it comes to your health being your wealth is your emotional health. Now, I don't know about you all. I'm in a really happy marriage right now, but there was a time in my life when I've had broken relationships. I've had broken romantic relationships and I've had broken friendship relationships. And that caused me some sadness. And so, but what do you do about that? Again, talk it out, get it out. Don't suffer in silence. And that just takes me to my next topic of how to deal or how to value relationships. Now, I'm a relationship person. Relationships are very, very important to me. I take relationships so serious. And I'm one of those people that have a tendency to get in too soon and to stay in too long because I love people. Now, I am a self professed introvert. I don't get my energy from being in big crowds, but I love a good relationship. And so, of course, I want to make sure that my relationships are solid. So, do I go above and beyond to make sure that I'm giving all that I can give in a relationship, as well as getting all that I can get from a relationship? Of course, I do. And so, some of the relationships that I value, number one, is the relationship with my family. My husband, wonderful man of God that I've been married to almost 19 years. May 31st will make 19 years for us. Now, there was a time in my life when I didn't think I would ever get married. Not because I couldn't, because I dated, I had folks that was interested in me, but there was never the right fit. But when you when you put yourself in a situation or in a position where relationships become important to you, you learn to value the relationships. My children, my parents, my siblings, all of those are very important relationships. But then there's another category that I want to mention, and that's the relationship with my family. Yes, I did say family. My friends that have become family. Sometimes blood is thicker than water. And I have to be very honest and transparent. There was a time in my life when I didn't give all in relationships. And for that reason, some of the relationships with my blood relatives suffered just a little bit. But I'm thankful that that's no longer the case. We have come full circle, and my family is as tight as you could. I mean, we're just tight as mud. We Marco Polo each other. We talk to each other on a regular basis. Whereas a few years ago, when somebody would ask me, "Hey, how is your sister?" Not sure. Haven't talked to her in about 6 months. That's not the case anymore. But the important point that I want to make about relational value is that you make sure that you are involved in mutually beneficial relationships, whatever that relationship look like. In other words, don't always be on the side of receiving. Make sure that you're giving as much in relationship as you're getting out of relationship. Okay? Can we do that? Can we make that agreement? Yeah, I think we can. Um, the other part of valuing yourself, and this is the last part of what I want to talk about in the self care, and I'm just going to call this little talk the self care series, how to value yourself. The rest. Now, one of the things as I went into this year, I realized over the holiday season, as I took a couple of weeks off from working, I realized how tired I was. And I actually took the time to rest. I took the time to sleep in. And for those that know that that's not very easy for me to do because I'm up early in the morning. And when I wake up, I get up. But I took the time to rest over the holiday season, just to stay in the bed a little bit longer than I normally do, to if I needed to fall back to sleep after my early morning activities of prayer and devotion and all of that, I took the time to do that. And I realized how depleted my body had become from rest. Well, I decided that this year I was going to give in to rest. And rest is what I've been doing. I'm okay now with if I get depleted in the middle of the day or my body gets tired in the middle of the day, I give myself a timeout. Just like we used to do with our children, put them in a timeout corner. I put myself in a timeout corner. And sometimes that may look like going into my living room, sitting in a comfy chair, putting my feet up on the ottoman just to rest a bit. Or it may look like me laying down and taking a short nap. Or it may look like me grabbing an interesting book or something that I've been reading just to take time away. Now, that's not always easy for me to do. My husband used to tell me years ago, he said, "Sometime turn the off switch on to your brain," because he knows that my brain is always clicking. I'm always thinking, I'm always planning, I'm always doing. But this year, 2022, I have learned how to turn the off switch on my thinking. And so, as you begin to go into the rest of this year, the remainder of this year, make sure that you take rest with you. Find quality time for yourself. That may look like having a spa day, and you don't have to go to to an actual spa and spend a whole lot of money. You can go right in the comfort of your own bathroom, close the door and lock it if you have children, turn on some soft music, light a candle if you choose, get your favorite drink and soak. And this is not just for the ladies. This is for ladies and men. Because guess what? Men need experiences too. They need facials, they need pedicures, they need manicures, just like we ladies do. And so give yourself the opportunity to spend some quality time with yourself. Quiet your thoughts, which is sometimes very difficult to do when you're a busy person. Quiet your thoughts, turn on soothing music, and spend quality time in a spa experience in your very own home. This is Dr. Ruby, and what I want to invite each and every one of you all to do, whether you're listening to me live or whether you're listening on the replay, I want you to take the time to go into my website at www.rubyepowell.com, and it's streaming on the bottom of this page, and schedule a 30-minute discovery session with me. If you're having a difficult time valuing yourself and knowing how important you are, then I can help you to unlock all of the value that you have inside of you. The analogy that I love to use all the time is you've got to put on your own oxygen mask before you try to put the oxygen mask on each other. If you've ever flown, that's the one thing that you will hear on every flight, whether you fly several times a week or you've only flown once in your life. You will always hear the flight attendants say, put the oxygen mask on yourself before you try to put it on someone else in the event of a crisis. If you've identified that you're in a crisis and you need to know how to put your own oxygen mask on, hit me up at www.rubyepowell.com. This first session is complimentary. It's free. It's free.com. However you want to say it, you won't owe me anything. And if we decide at the end of that complimentary call that now is not the time for you or that I'm not the fit for you, I'm okay with that too. But I would love the opportunity to help you unlock the value that you have inside. Some of the services that I offer are I do offer a very short term counseling program for those who are stuck in the past. I offer coaching services for those who are ready to ignite their future. And I also offer some short term business service programs. And so hit me up, www.rubyepowell.com. Until the next time, this is Dr. Ruby E. Powell signing off with Live with Dr. Ruby.